We are back. Normally, when you hear my voice, I say, hello, gorgeous. But I'm like, is that still on brand?
The new podcast, what do you want to get out of it? And what do you hope the viewers and the listeners are getting out of it?
Oh, I would like to feel less alone. The conversations on Give Them Lala were so fun, and I enjoyed every co-host, every guest that I had. But this podcast is more evolved, and I hope when, doing the episodes and whatever guest comes on, that I take something away from it, where it's like, oh, we truly are in this together. I think with social media, we think everyone has such a perfect life and we sit there and nitpick at our own. That's the hope for this podcast, and I hope that other people feel that way. It sounds so cheesy, but right now with the state of the world, I just want us to feel like we're a little bit more connected.
I think Vanderpump fans want to have a conversation between you and Scheana, because it seems like every day there's a new back and forth headline of what is going on. So is the friendship fine? Where do you exist with her? What was the drama with her book?
Oh, Lord have mercy. There was drama about, I stay under a rock, so I don't know exactly what she's spoken about out there. My truest hope, because we've hit a few bumps in the road, and I was like, okay, I just hope that we can keep this between the two of us and we can hash it out when I feel like we're more in alignment, because we're not right now. The way that I feel about Scheana, we're so deeply connected now. But I wish that she would not have brought it to a public place, because we're not filming a show. There was no reason for it to be out there like that. And then I'm put in a position where I feel like I have to go out and defend myself, and I wasn't wanting that. I know we'll be fine. I know she's hurt, I'm hurt. And there's gonna be many more, things that happen where I piss her off, and it is what it is, yeah. Right? What I do hope is that we don't take it to the freaking streets, because, we're deeper rooted than that. I mean, for God's sake, I share a wall with this woman in Palm Springs.
Right.
Like, we better pull it together.
Yeah, we don't need...
Because someone's gonna be selling their house, and it ain't gonna be me.
We don't need neighbor wars. It has been almost a year and a half since Vanderpump Rules ended for all of you, which means you've been away from the reality TV cameras, save for a couple pop-ins on the Valley, for the longest stretch since you started reality TV.
Yeah.
What has that been like?
Freaking awesome. That's horrible. I love reality TV. I love consuming it. I love being a part of it. It scratches an itch for me. But the downtime that I had, especially coming off of a season that was not take away what the outside was saying about me, I was in a very vulnerable place. I was now pregnant with Sosa, and even though I knew I made the right choice, I did have moments where I was like, have I completely by doing this to this baby?
Because it felt like there was so much coming at you?
Yes. And I didn't give her a choice. It's back to the choices.
You read the riot act for the way it ended because you did the final voiceover.
And there's a responsibility that comes with living your life on camera. You have to be truthful, even when it's extremely uncomfortable. And you think that you get to be honest for one moment, and then you get to pack it all away and all is good. That.
It still weighs heavy on me. I was dealing with a lot of foreign emotions at that time. I wish I could have pinpointed how I was feeling in real time, because then I feel like I could have had more productive conversations with people. And instead, I just tried to push everything away, and it was an explosion.
Well, you also need the people, the stakeholders, to also be willing to have those conversations. And some of the people you probably needed to have conversations with, like Ariana, were not willing to have them in that period of time.
That's absolutely true. But in sobriety, because I dealt with these feelings for, since we filmed that finale and the reunion with my sponsor, where I was like, I cannot shake these feelings of just anger, anxiety, depression over everything that happened. And she said, we have to only own our own part. We can't control other people. And if we don't do that, you do have a relapse on the horizon. And so when she said that to me, it was like taking a bullet, and I had to do a lot of work on just owning my part. It didn't matter, if ands or buts. It didn't matter what the other people decided to say or do or not do. What was my part in all of this? And how do I make it so that I can forgive myself?
So have you made peace with that at this point? Or is it still work you're doing?
I think it's still work that I'm gonna have to do for a while because it shifted everything for me. You know, it altered friendships, it altered just a very happy place for me. I'd never experienced that before. It also was it was humbling, but it also felt like karma. I was like, I went hard on 2 people during the whole scandal. I'm now seeing what that feels like. So how can I be upset? Like, you have to just make amends and try your best to move on. It was taking me mentally away from my kids.
You said on the premiere episode of the podcast, mantra is kind of take life by the ovaries. So I assume that's how you've handled this time. What's been the greatest lesson learned, the thing you have figured out in working through all that?
Forgiving myself. I don't think people know this about me. Like, I will beat myself up until I cannot see straight. I'll have a migraine, I'll need to be put to bed. And so once I took time, it took a lot of time to work through all of those emotions. It felt like an elephant was off of my chest, and I told myself, this will never happen again. You have to let things go.
Do you wish we're supposed to put our whole lives out there, that whole statement at the end of what's now essentially the series finale of Vanderpump Rules 1.0, do you wish that you had not done that?
Yeah, I wish I would have it was done.
Yeah.
It was over. And I told myself going into that night, you know, I was gonna fall back and I was just gonna enjoy my night. And it didn't go that way. I wish I would have shut up. And nothing to do with the way the audience received it, everything to do with just me beating myself up after that. Like, I made someone feel that they weren't protected, and the way they felt was the wrong way to be feeling. If someone did that to me, I would have lost my mind on them.
Yeah.
So why did I feel like I could do that to somebody?
Yeah. Pull out, look at it from above.
Yeah.
But you can't go back and replay the game.
Nope.
There is a lot of speculation you'll be back in the Bravo fold soon. I know you can't say one way or the other if it's happening, but hypothetically, going back to reality TV, why would that be of interest to you after having lived through that?
Because I love to be an emotional masochist. There's just something about reality TV that I live for, and I find that Bravo has conquered the art. Everyone can talk to me about whatever hit reality shows that aren't on Bravo, zero interest. Bravo has done a phenomenal job, and it's such an art that when I watch it, I'm like, I want to crawl into the TV. I have the best time watching it, creating it. It scratches an itch. I'm crazy.
But I think that's a good thing to have, because I think there are plenty of people who are willing to put their lives out there but don't consume it in the way you do.
Yeah.
So they're not they don't study it in the way you do, so they don't learn all the lessons that you might walk away from.
Okay, I like this. I think it was Michelle from the Valley the other day. She was like, maybe I should start watching reality TV because I feel like I may gain something. I was like, I have never thought about watching Housewives as like an assignment. You know, doing a show and then watching someone else's show, you realize that there may be dark moments in the moment,
yeah,
but years down the line, it could be an iconic moment. So just shake it off.
That's the thing. You just gotta embrace it, good, bad, and ugly. Does anything scare you about being back in the reality TV machine, the Bravo machine?
That is where I will say the audience comes into play. Because my regret from my final episode on Vanderpump Rules, the guilt and shame didn't come from the audience. That came from, you know, we were a group of actually very good friends.
Yeah.
We didn't just power on to do reality TV and shut down. When I think about going into the atmosphere again, the audience does scare me.
What is your message to those who scare you? You and Scheana popping up last season on The Valley, there was a lot of very vocal people online, which I always view as likely the minority of viewers, but they're loud. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't want to see these two. Get them off our screens. What is your message to them should they see you again on their screens?
You should turn your TV off because it's not gonna happen, babe. Like, and the more you say my name, you're saying I don't want you, yet you're talking about me. So the only thing that people are gonna zone in on who matter is like, oh, they're saying her name. Someone put a camera in her face. Welcome to my home.
Have you seen this rumor floating around that you maybe took Scheana's spot going back to Bravo?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Scheana is an icon. And I try to tell her this, and I don't know if she believes it yet. Maybe she'll believe it now that she is a New York Times bestseller.
Author.
You know, she deserved that win. She's iconic. I'm like, you think about Bravo, and she's one of the top people you think about. And
It's all happening.
I didn't mean Scheana's as an insult. It just kind of puts her exactly good, bad, the ugly. It's just, Scheana is Scheana.
Yeah, Vanderpump Rules is coming back.
Yeah.
Is it weird to you that a whole new group is going to be taking that mantle and doing that show?
I think they have very large shoes to fill, but I am so excited for them.
Do you think it will work?
I've heard it's very good.
Okay, yeah, they did wrap production, I think, on it,
Yeah,
so.
I did hear that it's very good. And I think it would be one thing if the old cast had more life in them and we were all kind of let go. Like, we were let go because everyone knew we didn't want to do it anymore.
This is interesting to me because when I did sit down with Scheana for her book, she said, I think we could have done a few more seasons of Vanderpump Rules, and I don't know what that would have looked like.
I don't think we could have. It was time to pass the torch to some young, hot, crazy people.
You confessed on your pod you go back and watch old episodes sometimes to essentially remind yourself the journey you've been on.
It is
how
so
far
cringy.
You've come. You especially go back to around the period you lost your dad, which was, what, 7 years ago now?
Yeah, almost 7.5.
What do you think he would make of this life you've built for yourself?
B, why are you doing this to me? I am not gonna cry. You would think after like 7.5 years, I would be able to talk about him without crying. I think he'd be very, very proud. And, you know, I think him knowing that like we're all together and keeping each other happy and safe, and you know, he did that. The loss of my dad really shook the family to our core. And I think we all realize that time is so precious, and I don't want to spend moments away from my family. I want to be with them all the time.
Do you feel him here with you guys?
Yeah, mostly because I have a giant urn.
Oh. It's like he is physically here.
No, I feel him all the time, and it's weird because I still have such vivid memories of everything, every wrinkle on his face, the way his hands looked. I remember like the way his hugs feel, and I just pray that like that'll never leave.
Sosa's too little to get it, but does Ocean know about her grandpa and ask questions about him?
You know what's so interesting is Ocean talks about my dad. She calls him, well, we call him Poppy. She talks about him as if she's met him before. And when we say our nightly prayers, we're not religious, we're spiritual, but we say our prayers at night, and it's her that always includes him. And I just have this strange feeling that like she has met him before. I don't know in what.
On this plane, another plane.
I don't know. I can't, you know, I can't
lives.
explain it. Yes, exactly. And it's important for me to continue to talk about him, and she knows we say prayers at night because Papa used to say prayers with us at night. And I've got to do the same thing with Sosa. You know, his memory has to live on.
What a good driving force to have. You
Yeah.
know? It's somebody to make proud that only you can know that you're doing it, you know?
Yeah.